you big sound.
Hey guys, welcome back to Delving Deep
with your host Sandra
and your host Chian. We didn't record last week,
which is we're back. That's what matters.
We're back. But today we're gonna discuss a really touchy subject.
So please be advised if you do not want to hear anything to do with PTSD, mental health or trauma. Do not want to hear anything to do with PTSD. Mental health or trauma, please feel free to tune into our next podcast next week.
Thank you. Episode 3, stuck in trauma. A lot of people have been through a lot last year.
What is trauma?
Okay.
What is trauma? So I searched it up and it said it's an emotional response to an event. So an event could be a loss of a loved one, could be a relationship breakup, it could be a family event, it could be war. That's a
pandemic as well. I know we're in a pandemic now, but over the last 12,000 years there's been a lot of plagues and stuff. It says that people have committed suicide.
Yeah.
Because the feeling of just being locked down in one space,
Yeah, it's a lot. And I think as humans we're social beings. We're not supposed to be at home cooped up.
Yeah.
And I think when you're with the same people over and over again,
it plays with your mind.
Yeah. I need to get out. Yeah, okay? Yeah. I need to get out.
I need to breathe.
Yeah.
I need to breathe. But yeah.
But trauma, like...
I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay. Go ahead.
You prepared?
Yeah.
What happens when you think you've overcome trauma?
When you think you haven't overcome trauma, you have.
Haven't. Sorry, guys.
What happens when you think you haven't overcome trauma? I think it's that over time trauma plays with your mind. It plays with your emotional state. It actually affects a lot. Can cause a lot of mental health issues, problems like depression, anxiety, flashbacks, PTSD. It causes a lot. I think sometimes you don't really notice that you are going through a trauma. You're going through an
traumatic
emotional
experience.
Yeah, you're in response to a traumatic experience. I think other people notice it in you before you notice it in yourself.
But has there been a time where you think you've overcome it?
There's been times where I think, I'm over this now. Like I'm fine. Like, ooh, go me, and
definitely.
It's like the next day I'm triggered by something that's happened, or I think about it and I'm like, okay, or I see something and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not over this.
And the issue is because you haven't faced it. You've tucked it away.
Okay, girl, don't be so loud. Don't be so loud. Do not be so loud.
Yeah, but it's the truth.
Yeah, I think when you suppress your emotions and suppress how you feel, I have this thing where I'm like, no, I'm gangster, I'm fine, I'm cool, I've got it. So I won't speak about it.
A lot of people, yeah?
Yeah, it's so bad. Like, I'm independent, I'm fine, I can do this by myself, and it's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Well, why is that though? Why do we adopt that mentality? I think
okay. African, I think coming from a African and Caribbean household.
Okay, so it's a
we get it from
thing.
We get it from our parents because they do it as well. Like, if you say to an African mum, I think I have depression, they're gonna look at you like, no, you don't.
Yeah,
you're too spoiled, or like they don't know what depression is. I think in third world countries we're more open to the idea of mental health issues and like just the idea of mental health itself.
Yeah,
but back home it's like
pat on the back.
What is mental health?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, just give you a little lemon juice and...
Yeah, a little lemon juice, a little sorrel.
It's a little something.
A little something for just, moisturize
Take the pain away.
Yeah.
Like what Meek Mill said.
I just hope this money... Oh, I've been copyrighted. I don't know, but...
I don't know.
We're here now anyways.
Yeah,
What do you think, though?
In terms of overcoming it.
Yeah. Has there been a time where you thought, okay, I'm over this now, and you haven't?
All the time. And do you know what triggers me? Music.
Music.
The words and music, it relates to what I've been through. And I'm like, wow, like, you know, sometimes I start crying. I'm not really a crier, but when I start crying, it means that I haven't overcome the situation. And that is a problem.
So do you feel like when you stop crying about a certain situation, you're over it, personally for you?
I'm ignorant sometimes about how I feel about certain things.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Sometimes, but then sometimes not. Yeah, it's a hard one. It is a hard one. I think my change in behaviour, that's what it is. The way how I respond to it.
Yeah.
That's when I know that I'm not over this.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not over this. And it's just to face it. That's what we need to do, is to face the trauma. Talk about it. We don't talk about it. Just cooped up in your own little space. And then with this lockdown as well, it doesn't help because
it's made it worse.
you know, everyone's, you know, in their selves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we don't talk about things enough and get together and talk about things. Sometimes when we get together, it should just be to talk about your problems.
Yeah.
Not to drink your sorrows away.
Yeah. I feel like not even just not talking about it. I feel like when people suppress it through drugs or, you know, through drinking or going out, and sex, and it just makes the wound worse. But I don't think.
I mean, I'm not judging anybody for it.
No, absolutely not.
But you know, there comes a time where you have to actually
face your problems, and as uncomfortable as it is, as painful as it feels, you really just have to sit with yourself and think, okay, where's this come from? Why am I feeling like this? And how are we going to move on from this? Like, how am I going to... I mean, you shouldn't rush the healing process from trauma, but how am I going to deal with this? How am I going to heal from this?
That's true.
And also, in healing, I think you'll learn to not bring that... Like, don't bring that trauma into something else.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That is true, because when you have trauma, your future stops. You don't think about the future.
Yeah.
You think about the past and how it's affecting you in the present.
100%.
And it's not running away from you.
It's not.
So, yeah.
Do you know what I like to think about it? When you suppress trauma, this is my analogy.
Okay.
You know when you have like a cupboard? So you have a cupboard.
Right.
And every teddy bear that you put in the cupboard, or every toy that you put in the cupboard is your trauma. Or the times that you suppress it.
Yeah.
You keep putting it in. The cupboard is full. And you're literally holding the cupboard. You're pushing yourself against the cupboard to close it. All it takes is for someone to say something, or for one trigger, and it's like, everything's coming
out. All of them falling back out.
Everything falls back out the cupboard. That's how it is.
I love that.
That's how it is, and you have to see it like that, because it's like, it's suppressing is so bad. It is so bad.
So guys, I've done some research, and I've done some research, and I've seen that there's been 1 in 13 young people in the UK that have had PTSD before reaching 18.
Give us the stats. Give us the stats. Oi.
Before reaching 18. That's when your life starts. you know?
No.
Childhood is meant to be fun and games. Come on.
It's
People, I think young people take on too much, and sometimes it is because of our parents. They may have been through something, and you know, you see that they present it, and you know, you take that on board, and you might shy away from the things that they don't like because they've been through a traumatic experience with that. And I know, you know, some parents see their kids as, you know, they're my strength, you know. Yeah. So they share that with them, but you know, as a child, you do take that, you know, you want to protect your parents or whatever, and you now present that trauma as well. And I think I don't know how. I wouldn't say people should stop that, but just be mindful about how you do it. Yeah. You know, because as kids, when we're kids, we do worry about our parents.
100%.
The way how they stress about things and how they react to certain things. you know?
No, we stressed. Yeah. I remember there was one time I was 7 years old, I think I was 7 or 10 years old. My mum was not answering my calls. I was thinking, where is this woman? Like, where? Nah. You know the way I stress about my mum?
Yeah.
She gets on to me for not answering the phone.
Yeah,
but when it's her now, and she's not answering the phone,
yeah.
Listen.
I start thinking
You literally start thinking the worst. It's so bad. It is so bad. But, no. Do you feel like the majority, well, let me not say majority, but what people, I want to talk about being trapped in trauma, but when I say trapped in trauma, I mean trapped in other people's traumas.
Yeah.
So sometimes the trauma that we take on isn't even our own. For example, from parents, they might have, you know, brought trauma from their past to us, if that makes sense, without even knowing.
Yeah.
And I see it with a lot of our people, in households of our people, if that makes sense.
There's certain reasons why they say, don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah.
They're very emotional about certain things that you do.
Yeah.
And you can just pick up that, they've been through something.
Yeah.
I think, they are protecting you.
Yeah.
But sometimes we got to learn for ourselves.
100%.
But where's the balance?
Yeah.
We have to balance it out. It is hard. It is very hard. And I do feel for parents sometimes.
Yeah.
When they go through that stuff. Because it is hard. It is hard. But yeah, as you were saying.
There's a certain topic, man. For example, you know, in terms of... So when I say trapped in trauma, you can be trapped in your parents' trauma. So when I say that, I mean... For example, back home, you know, the majority of our parents were born back home.
Yeah.
Let's say that. Now, back home is different. The way they deal with mental health, quote unquote mental health, is different from the way they deal with it here.
Yeah.
So when they come over to... So the way parents back home deal with mental health is different from the way they deal with it here. So when they come over here, it's like... It's a whole different ballgame. You can tell, like I said before, you can tell your mum, do you know what? I feel depressed. But because they're so accustomed to brushing it off to, no, keep working or doing this and doing that, it's like, that can, it's so bad for us. It's like really bad for us.
Yeah.
And it's like a domino effect. It's a domino effect.
It is.
And it's so bad.
I think our generation, we might change that.
I really think we're going to change that.
Because a lot of us are depressed at our young age. Parents from back home, they've had to adjust to how we take on trauma, you know, and how we deal with mental health issues. And, you know, I do applaud some parents because it is hard. They're not used to it.
That's the thing. They're not used to it. So when it does come about, it's like, what does this mean? This is not how I dealt with it in my day. This is not how they say that a lot, and I'm like, I understand, you know, but we're living in a different time now. 100%.
And I think that's why many parents from the Caribbean and from Africa, you know, they've gone through a lot, and they don't sit down to think about it. And you know, not most of them, but a lot of them are very emotional. They are. They do hide it.
Yeah.
But because they're hiding it, you know that they're very emotional.
I think that's definitely where we get it from, though. Like, all this suppressing emotions. I can't say the same for everyone, but the majority of us and what I've seen, that's where we've gotten it from.
Yeah, definitely.
So, anyways. So, have you been through trauma before?
Yeah, I have.
Do you feel like... How did you deal with it?
Have I dealt with it?
Okay, fair enough. How are you dealing with it? If at all? I
think I'm doing well, and I think it's because although I'm growing up, I'm seeing it from a different perspective. I see that everything happens for a reason. You know, sometimes bad things that have happened to you, it builds you up as a person. 100%. You gain strength from it, and you're able to teach your children about, you know, how to build that strength. So,
yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah, I think I am dealing with it.
You go, girl. You go. That's what we love.
In terms of triggers, you know, I do brush it away, which is really bad.
Yeah.
But it just means that I'm not kind of changing my behaviour, because sometimes, you know, in a place of work, you might see that trigger. And people be like, well, why are you acting like this? You know, you have to kind of control it. I think I can control it. I'm more of a person that I show my emotions by myself. So, yeah. And I think music, as I said, you know, is a trigger, but it also helps me as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Music, you know, music is a very... It can either help you or it can make it worse. Because, you know, sometimes when you're crying in bed and you put on sad music to make you cry more. Like... That's
why would
really
I do
bad.
that in like year 9? I'm young.
Yeah, no, that was...
What? I'm meant to be playing out, riding a bike.
It is so bad.
What?
So, music can either help you, make you or break you, let's say that.
Yeah.
It can either... Some people find healing through music, which is... Wow.
I feel like soulful music for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people actually... XXX. I didn't really listen to him much, but he made an impact a lot in a lot of people's lives.
Yeah, he did.
People really connected with his music.
The quality of the music, wow.
Really.
Wow. He instantly just connects, you know?
Wow.
And even more so when he died, I was like, You know when someone passes away like a celebrity and you listen to their stuff more, like you just see, just look about them more. I was thinking, this is making me even more sad because he's, you know, passed away. Do you know what I mean?
He's gone, yeah.
So, yeah.
That's crazy.
But in terms of the pandemic and PTSD, mental health, it has risen a lot.
It's given people time to actually sit with their feelings.
Yeah. People have died, and not just because of the COVID-19, but because of trauma. PTSD, anxiety.
Yeah.
It's just the thought of being, you know, as we said, one space. People have committed suicide, unfortunately.
Rest in peace,
due to this madness that's going on.
Some people just don't know how to deal with trauma, though. You don't really learn it in school. You learn about Pythagoras' theorem, but you don't learn how to deal with... You don't learn how to...
Not the shade.
No, seriously. Boris, come on, darling.
Yeah.
We need to change up the curriculum, babe.
Wash your hands. No!
Babe, no.
I need to wash my mind, okay?
Cleanse the mind.
Cleanse the mind, but wash my damn hands. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Okay, so my question is, how do you deal with trauma? How do you begin the healing process?
I'm so sad. Sorry, that's so sad. The first thing to do, face it, live it, kind of go for it again.
So face it, meaning sit with yourself and ask yourself questions. Where has this come from? Why do I feel like this? I think the main thing in dealing with trauma or anything is talking about it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's like poison. It's poison. It builds up in you when you don't speak about it every single day.
Yeah.
And literally from the inside, it just...
Although you can't see the trauma, it's very much there. I feel
very
like
much
when you
active.
don't see something, it's like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
And that's like with, you know, illnesses and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because you don't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you will see it eventually.
In your behaviour, in...
Your actions.
Literally.
How you interact with people.
Relationships. Future relationships,
Yeah.
So talking about it is really important. Whether you talk about it to a friend that you trust, whether you have, you know, a therapist,
or guardian, or
a parent, cousin, anyone you can trust, just talk about it. Talk, because it will really help you. Also, cry about it. That is one thing that we don't speak about. No, you don't. You be quiet because you don't even cry. And you need seriously.
You know, I cry about silly things. I don't cry about serious things.
Seriously.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a reason that we cry.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have tears for a reason.
It out.
That's one of our healing process. That's our healing mechanisms.
Yeah.
To cry. So cry about it. Talk about it. And take care of yourself.
Yeah.
That's so important. Taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, coming off social media.
Use it as a strength as well.
Use it as Yeah.
Yeah. And some people, you know, the thing that they've been through, they use it as a strength. They use it as a business mechanism. In terms of, you know, how to help other people.
Yeah.
You know, they advise other people, like create events and stuff. Like, just make it creative.
Use it as a strength. Yeah. Use your pain to help other people.
Yeah.
There's always pain.
I love it.
There's always purpose in your pain.
I love that.
Always purpose. So if you are religious, then praying about things, you know,
attending church.
Yeah.
You know.
Or mosque or wherever, whatever your religion is, just like staying in touch with your creator and just, it's like, honestly, there's something that God can do that we can't. Like, God is his love is too sweet.
His love is very, very sweet.
He is too sweet, and he is the best healer that there is.
Definitely. I think people forget that, but he's there.
He's there. He's
watching,
always. He's an ever-present help.
Everywhere. He's around you. Everywhere.
In times of trouble.
So yeah, guys.
And yeah, guys, we will include some links in the description box below for you to have a look at. If you are going through trauma and need help or need some advice, we will link some websites below. So please take a look. And yes,
I think we're done. Yeah.
And we'll be back for next week, Monday.
Yeah.
Next week, Monday.
I promise. We
promise, guys. We'll be back for next week, Monday.
But yeah, thank you for listening, tuning in, guys. We really appreciate it.
And we hope you enjoyed. Guys, feel free to connect with us on Twitter at DelvinDeep1, which will be linked down below as well. Feel free to get in touch. And yeah, guys, have an amazing week, and we will see you next week.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.